Hi everyone, Stepan here. I'm going to show you the third game I played on Lichessladders. Now I faced a low-rated opponent. His rating in Classical is provisional, but his other ratings are about 1900 both in Bullet and in Blitz. And his Tactics rating is also 1900, which is relatively low. Mine is about 2700. So I figured, low-rated opponent, I should be fine. And the way Lichessladders works, which Neil explained to me, and by the way, if you haven't seen Lichessladders yet, it's a great way to schedule classical games on Lichess against serious opponents. You have your spot on the ladder. I was in second place before this game, and you can only challenge the people 2 slots above you unless it's your first game, which I didn't know. So when I received the challenge from Mohammed876, I noticed that he was in 100th place or something like that, and I emailed Neil saying, well, how is he able to challenge me? And the answer is, if it's your first game, you can challenge anyone, and if you beat them, you take their slot. So technically, if my opponent beats me, he's going to be second on the ladder, jumping, 99 spots. So I think that feature is kind of bad. Maybe it's good, I don't know, but the way it would usually work is you have your slot and you can advance if you beat people above you, but you have to beat a bunch of people to get to second place. In any case, I couldn't challenge the first guy on the ladder, which I wanted to do because he's on holiday. Okay, my opponent started with c4, and I wanted to play a setup that I had been preparing for. I tried to play it in one tournament game against Željko Bedić. I didn't get to play it because he deviated, so I wanted to try it out here. I have not analyzed the game, I have not engine checked the game. You have the eval bar here, you have the engine and everything, and I'm going to share my thoughts, and hopefully this is instructive. So I played the reverse Sicilian, and my idea was to attack quickly with h5. And my opponent played the opening pretty well. Okay, this is all mainline stuff. My idea is to go d6 and a6 and bishop a7 to tuck my bishop away. So e3, you want to block the long diagonal. This is all just the opening still. I hope you can see the book as well. Yes, you can see the book. I turned on the book. So a6, that means that knight a4 doesn't work. And a3 is a weird move. I was expecting knight g2. I didn't really know a3, but okay, the idea is b4. Knight f6, knight g2, and bishop a7. This is where black's attack starts. White castles, and I played h5. Now, white should play h3 in my opinion. h4 is slightly less precise, giving up the g5 square. Against h4, I would just castle. But my opponent played d4 here. And I figured this was a big mistake, and of course I have to continue with h4. My idea is simply h takes g, bishop h3, move the knight, get the queen in, let's say queen e6 or queen d7, queen h3, checkmate. And my opponent played b4 here. As you can see here, I still had an hour on the clock. This is 60 plus 30. So I took on h3, he took on h3. Oh, on g3, sorry, I played bishop h3, which, as you can see here, is the best move. Black is better. My opponent traded and played king g2. I played queen d7, only move. And now I was expecting rook h1. And against rook h1, the line you can see here, so rook h1 takes, queen takes, castles, queen side. I was going to do that. But he played b5. And I can already see the engine evaluation that rook h8 was a blunder and that knight d4 works for some reason. I'm an idiot. I tried to calculate it. But I have a problem here. I need to move my rook in order to play queen h3, and I also need to castle. So my opponent played b5, and now the point is, if I just move my knight, my opponent's trading queens and my rook is hanging. So if I, play knight e7, then DE, queen d7, king d7, let's say, and king takes h3, my rook's hanging. So I can exchange on b5 or not, it doesn't really change things, but the point is, yeah, knight d4 works. Oh, knight d4, I give up a piece and castle and everything's fine. My reasoning was, I'm going to play rook h8 so that my rook isn't hanging. Then I have time to castle, and if my opponent trades rooks, I still have a rook on h8, and I'm going to be fine. So I played AB, which doesn't change things, and yeah, now I should have taken on d4, or castled even. Okay, so knight d4, ed4 castles queenside. Okay, what does white do here? If they take on e5, I'm guessing that's losing. Yeah, I can just go rook h8. The engine plays b6. That makes no sense to me, but okay. Let's say bishop b6. Queen a4, empty threat. Wait, I don't go king b8? Oh, king b8, they trade queens. I have to move my queen and give my king a square. So queen f5. Okay, queen f5 so that it's not mate. Okay, makes sense. So yeah, I should have taken on d4. Instead, I played rook h8. Oh, from -1 to +1. Okay, now, at this point, I mean, my opponent made one mistake. He played d4. From here on, my opponent played perfectly. At least it felt that way. I don't know, maybe he blundered, but I knew I was going to lose. When he played rook h1, I realized, I mean, I had calculated all of this. I'd spent maybe 15 minutes trying to figure the position out, and I knew what was going to happen. But I soon realized that I'm busted. Okay, I have to play knight e7, because otherwise my rook is hanging, and this way I can play knight g8, so queen h8, knight g8, queen g7, castles queenside. And here my opponent surprised me with queen h8. Now, when he played... now, first of all, I haven't expected queen h8 at all. That move makes no sense to me. It's a very non-human, unnatural move, in my opinion. Queen h8 is a... I don't know. It's well beyond me. My opponent is 1900 on Lichess, and queen h8 is a superb move. When he played queen h8, I knew I'm losing. There's just nothing I can do. The idea is to play queen h3 in some positions and to pin both my knights. There's nothing I can do now. I cannot untangle my position. Everything is hanging. So I played king b8, which is bad. Okay, I should have gone rook e8, which I don't understand. I wanted to prevent queen h3, but he played it anyway. Okay, and I'm supposed to trade. I didn't want to trade, I have to win, so I played queen e7, compounding on my mistakes. a4, okay, second best move, ed, and knight e4, blunder. Okay. Should have gone bishop e3. I was hoping my opponent was going to take, and then I take on d4 and the rook is hanging, or I take on c3 and play bishop takes d4. He played bishop g4 here. Mistake. I thought that this was a mistake because it allows f5 and knight f6. So I played f5. Queen takes, knight c3. Okay, he shouldn't have taken on f5. I had anticipated queen f4 and knight c3. He took, I took, takes, bishop d4, queen d3, excellent move. Queen f6, it doesn't work. Knight d5 fails, but knight e4 is winning. Queen g7, I have to defend my bishop. Rook a2. Okay, and here I lost the game. Should have gone rook b1. That makes more sense. Okay, rook a2. I should have played knight e7 immediately, but I played rook f8. I saw some tricks. Let's say if bishop f4, I just take it. But yeah, rook f8 loses to knight g5 straight away. Knight g5 threatens knight e6. I saw that, but I thought it was fine because I have pressure on f2. He played rook e2, knight e7, knight g5. Yeah, and now I saw that everything was losing. I wanted to play rook h8. And if I play rook h8, then rook e7 simply works. I wanted to play queen h6, but there's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's knight h7, there's rook h7, and I'm losing. I was expecting rook h7. The other move I wanted to play was knight f5, but that doesn't work either because of knight g5. Wait, what? I didn't see, sorry, knight e6. I didn't see queen h7 threatening knight h4 winning the queen. Okay. So this could have been a good attempt. Knight e6, queen h7 is nice. In the end, I played rook g8 because I blundered. I was expecting rook e7, queen e7, queen d4, rook g5, and maybe I can survive. I'm not surviving, but maybe b6 and it's over. But I'd completely missed that on rook g8 my opponent just plays knight e6, so I resigned before he played knight e6. In any case, I had a good attacking position at the beginning of the game, and I should have just taken on d4. I mean, I got exactly what I wanted. This was thematically my prep. I didn't know the exact position, but when I was preparing for my game against Bxh3 a year ago, I must have looked at something similar, and I cannot waste time on rook h8. Just take, and you have a crushing attack. Congratulations to my opponent. He outplayed me. I made a bad move. I played rook h8 and then he just crushed me. So I think he should be much higher rated. He played a bunch of games, so I don't know how he isn't, but he must have had a good day against me. Thank you for watching. I'm going to show you game 4 in about 10 days. Join Lichessladders and challenge me. You can find the link to Lichessladders below.